Hello and welcome back to a somewhat belated final edition of Lisburn Distillery TV for the 2018-19 season. As you would expect, this is a packed show with lots to catch up on since our last episode, so without further ado, let's have a quick look at what's coming up on today's episode. Firstly, to conclude season 2018-19, we have the highlights from our home game against Annagh United. We also have the goals from our final game of the season away to Sport and Leisure Swifts. We round up what has been quite an eventful couple of months since our last episode. And finally, we'll be hearing exclusively from Lisburn Distillery's new manager, Stephen Hatfield. In our last episode, the Whites still had 2 matches left of the 2018-19 season. A home game against a side still in hunt for promotion in Annagh United, and a side struggling to stay in the Premier Intermediate League in Sport and Leisure Swifts. First up, it's the match against Annagh United before we move straight on to the goals from the game against Sport and Leisure. Here's the action. It was the home side Lisburn Distillery who had the first shot in anger in this game, as this well-struck shot from Johnny McCaw forced Annagh United goalkeeper Shane McParland into a fine save. Distillery then had another chance to take the lead when this corner wasn't properly cleared, and Nick Beattie found himself in space only a few yards out. His well-hit header, however, was well parried and saved once again by McParland. McParland was unlucky not to concede, as this mistimed header hit the woodwork and then it fell to Nick Beattie, but he was unable to convert from short range. It was then Lisburn Distillery's time to ride their luck, as this effort from number 14 Rory McDonald cannoned off the crossbar and was cleared eventually by the Distillery defence. Annagh were now very much back into the game and took this goal line clearance from Stephen Curley to keep the Whites level at nil each. Annagh were now really chasing the game and should have taken the lead only for this disappointing effort by substitute Brian McElmurray, who hit the post when really he should have scored. With only 1 minute left in the clock, the Whites were given a glorious chance to win the game when this uncalled for foul by McParland and the Annagh United on Dara Rooney saw them awarded a penalty. Up stepped the normally reliable Johnny McCaw to win the game, but on this occasion McParland once again in the Annagh goal made a great save to keep the scores level at nil each. Full-time score New Grosvenor, Lisburn Distillery 0, Annagh United 0. With Sport and Leisure Swifts already relegated, it was probably no surprise that this was a very one-sided game in the last match of the Distillery season. Dara Rooney broke the deadlock following his time through ball. He rounded the goalkeeper and comfortably slotted home. James Wright made no mistake when he found himself unmarked from this corner kick. Lewis Harrison was the man on hand to finish this fantastic move from the Whites on the night. Johnny McCaw made a great driving run into the box to convert well to make it 4-0 to Distillery. And Dara Rooney was the man on hand once again to add Distillery's fifth of the night to complete a comfortable win. Lisburn Distillery defeating Sport and Leisure Swifts by 5 goals to 0. So, 4 more points and 2 clean sheets to add to our tally for the season, with the Whites ending the season only losing 1 game from their last 7 played, and even that was against eventual champions Queen's University. Looking now at the final standings for 2018-19, we can see that the Whites ended off with the 2nd consecutive season in 4th place in the table, something which certainly gives us something to build on for next season. Reflecting back, it was a decent if not remarkable season for the club, with early draws being the main reason why we weren't able to build on last time round. All that said, it's with great optimism that we'll enter season 2019-20, and hopefully this might be the year to see the Whites at long last return to the championship. Tuesday the 23rd of April saw Lisburn Distillery appoint Stephen Hatfield, Nick O'Neill and Graham Steenson as the new management team in New Grosvenor. They'll replace the former management duo of Colin McElwain and George Boyle, who left the club to join Harland and Wolf Welders. Stephen has been exceptionally busy since his appointment, with more or less the entire squad from last season now committing once again to sign up for season 2019-20. The only departure being that of midfielder Lewis Harrison. I caught up with Stephen last weekend to get an update on how things are shaping up for next season. Stephen, you've had now a few weeks to get yourself settled into the job. How have things been going so far?
Really well, Colin. With the majority of the squad now re-signed with the club. They were all very easy conversations because the players have a real affinity for the club, a real affection there. And their loyalty and enthusiasm was infectious, so I'm really positive. We hope to finalise the remaining 2 or 3 within the coming days. And then hope to announce the new signings shortly after that.
You're announcing new signings there. I'll obviously not ask you to disclose any names live on video in case anything else happens, but optimistic we'll get a few new faces on board.
I think we certainly have to. I think the quality of the squad that's already there is undoubted, but I think to freshen things up, I think to kick us on to that next level, we'll certainly be looking to add 3 or 4 at least into the squad to really give us that opportunity to push on.
And not for too long then the pre-season training, we're all back up and running again.
It doesn't feel like that long, but actually for me it'll seem like an eternity. I can't wait to get started. The last 2 or 3 weeks I felt like an eternity, so really it's in to get started.
And the targets for this season?
Has to be promotion. I think the boys have done a terrific job to secure 2 top 4 finishes in the past 2 seasons, but I think really I was brought in and made no secret about it to anybody I've spoke to. Promotion has to be the aim.
Okay, Stephen, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Colin.
So that's it from the final show of LDTV for season 2018-19. Before we go, I just wanted to say a massive personal thanks to everyone who's helped out in the show this season, from all of our hosts to the video production team, and most of all to you, our viewers. Thank you so much for your ongoing support for the show this season, and hopefully we can do it all again next time round. Until the next time, it's bye for now. Come on, you Whites. See you soon.